I think.
Hey, meeting will come to order, 5
Maybe.
o'clock. Let's introduce ourselves.
Scott Breyer, Select Board.
Scott Morley, Select Board.
Dan Webster, board member.
Matt Maxwell, Town Administrator. Start in the back.
Deb Penway, Town Bookkeeper.
Andrew Touchette, City of Newport Fire. Kevin Lacoste, City of Newport Fire.
Me, Kate Fletcher, delinquent tax collector, assessing clerk.
Chris Brian, Newport Daily. Bill Marquette, Emergency Management Director, 911 address.
Thank you, everybody. Any public comment this evening? Great.
Thank you.
Hello.
We doing any changes or additions to the agenda? Okay, we'll get into the fire service contracts, which I think we're right at the end of. We've got one here from Orleans, which has been signed by their city manager. You guys got anything you wanna? We got the contract that we got from, that we went over with your mayor and Rebecca Tyrion.
So Newport's, we have the bill, right? For
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah,
And we just held that until we get this signed. So his, my understanding the other day was, has Newport signed?
I'm sorry.
Has Newport signed the contract?
So. I have not been privy to this contract at all.
Okay,
You guys ended up meeting with Rebecca, with Linda and Rebecca.
Yeah.
And for the life of me, I don't understand why I wasn't asked. Okay, when this originally started, the contract, you guys contacted me, Matt and Scott, about going over the contract and just barely filling in there, being interim. I basically said, hey, look, I know how to do the billing and stuff for individual calls, but I have nothing to do with the contract, because it was based on a formula that was put together by, I think, John Ward and Mike Maricott originally.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even, and I told Matt on the phone, I said, look, hey, there's no sense in me trying to go there. I said, we need to meet with Karen Garrity at the time that was intern. We set up a meeting. The meeting was canceled because Linda caught wind of it, the mayor, and she wanted to be there. We tried to set it up again. I don't know what happened. I don't remember if you guys couldn't make it. It was the following week or something. So long story short, to this point, I have no idea what that contract is. The only part of the contract that I know is that Coventry pays a portion of the capital towards equipment. And that's the only part that I know. Otherwise, you guys are billed on an individual call basis. So that's the billing that I know. As far as what you pay on an annual basis, I have no idea. I have no idea how that's set up.
So it's probably the capital equipment.
So the contract that you're signing must be part of the capital towards new equipment purchase. Is that what you understand?
no,
Okay, so what is it that you understand that you're signing? Because I have.
where's the bill?
Should be in that folder.
Oh, so no, so going back now, so the bill that you have maybe for the billing for the year for the calls. Is that what you're paying? Can I look, you guys, I have.
Yeah,
Sure, yeah, it's a little bit, go ahead.
Well, so I was gonna just show you this, guys. This is,
Shoot.
so on a per call basis, every time that we get a call, this is how you're billed. So this is the only billing that I know that you would get, and I don't know how often you receive these. I thought they were quarterly. So are you paying a bill for a quarter, or do you pay these once a year?
once a year. usually.
All right, so what you're paying then is these statements based on calls.
Yeah.
For the year.
And the equipment percentages.
Correct.
Okay,
It's all in the same bill. So what we do is we pay forward. The way that works is it's the rolling average. Okay, both of your departments are doing, both of the fire departments do that. Yeah. So what happens is, correct me, guys, or
You can sit in this chair here.
Well, it's up to you guys. I don't-
Yeah, whatever you want.
correct me, Matt, or anybody when I misspeak on this, but. So it's the rolling, so. The bills that we get, the bill that we get from your fire department,
Yes,
we have right now.
It's in
That's
here.
gonna be paid. Well, not if Nitor hasn't signed that, it's not. So we have your bill right here. For 2024,
so
It's paid forward.
it's paid forward,
on
and that's created from a rolling average,
5-year average.
3 years, 3-year rolling average, which includes a portion of your equipment expenses and the number of incidents that you responded to within the town.
Okay,
And so it's been 22 or 23
right,
incidents
roughly a
each
year, yeah.
each year for the last few years. So that allows you guys to create the bill for us moving it forward.
Right,
And so we have that bill. So it's sort of an aside to the contract. The contract is just saying, hey, we want, and hopefully you want to enter into another annual contract, same.
based on the same rolling average.
Yeah.
Right,
All the same things. The only thing that changed this year was we changed the boundary
right.
based on response time,
Based,
mileage.
okay,
That's the answer. Am I wrong?
With all due respect, sir, I'm just wondering that the mileage always isn't the shortest route, meaning, with a truck, and I tried this with a truck. To make go the same distance here in town, it is shorter, you're absolutely correct, there's a lot of places that are shorter distances by 3, 4, 5 tenths of a mile. However, if you run it with a truck, it's actually it's very similar in time because.
So can I stop you? We've made our decision
yeah,
on that.
Okay.
So this would have been something that you should have been talking to us about weeks or months ago.
so this is the thing, Scott, right here, so this is what's a little frustrating, is we did start this process October 9th, the first time that we were contacted.
Yeah.
And between October 9th and like the last meeting, the 20th, I watched the film or the minutes of the 20th.
Yeah.
There were 3 meetings that night that you guys had, that I had that I couldn't make. The reason I did not come to this meeting that night is because this contract had not been gone over by the mayor or anyone else, and there was no sense in me coming down here if all you wanted to talk about was the contract. There was nothing finalized then. So the other part was, Newport City was talking about the fire chief job that night where I felt that I needed to be. End of story. And plus, there was a fire chief meeting, Northeast International Mutual Aid meeting that night also with the chiefs. So the reason that I did not attend, which I heard there was quite a bit of discussion about, but that there was no sense in me coming down here discussing something that I had no information about. It's not that we were trying to not enter into a contract with you guys and give you coverage, it's that there was no sense in me discussing something that I knew nothing about. And then the next thing I know is there's a meeting between Coventry and the mayor that I'm not even part of, which I don't understand that either. I just, and again, this is not your fault. You know, this is nothing to reflective on you. This is with our mayor. I just don't understand that. And then she says at the council meeting that she came down here and salvaged the contract. Well, I don't know what kind of terminology that was, and I don't know what kind of, but anyways, that's another.
So we
story.
When was it voted on? To change the lines, because the way I've been understanding it through all these meetings is you were talking and going over contracts, and then once contracts were voted on, that was when those lines were voted on. decided to change it.
We have to ask Matt.
Well, the 911 lines, ambulance and
Right.
fire need to be the same, correct?
They don't have to be.
They don't have to be,
No,
but it's.
It would kind of make sense.
reason-
that's what I'm,
Right.
it was stated that the lines had already been decided on. I don't
So
recall.
let's just back up here a little bit.
I'm done.
Yeah, let's back up a little bit. One, we can't change the past, right, Mr. Lacoste?
Oh, it's fine, yeah.
Right.
No, I
So we were attempting to get Newport, whoever wants to come
right.
to engage with us
Right,
for the contract discussion. Our interest is to keep Newport and to keep Orleans and to adjust the line.
right.
And through the process, we have just, well, I suppose some part of that would be discussed tonight, but I think we've all made up our minds that it's not impacting your budget whatsoever.
Well, the capital budget, it will. If we have less calls and less over the rolling average, that will affect our capital under equipment.
In the future, it could in that
Well,
regard.
no,
yes.
it will.
Yes,
I mean,
in the future, it could, yes, if you had,
It will,
if you had
it will.
fewer calls.
Yes,
It will, and that's, the way it is.
well, understandably.
Yes.
I also, I mean, here's the thing, as Andrew started to mention, just because it shows that it's a mileage, and again, you guys made your decision, I respect that. Just because it's showing that physically it's a mile or two closer, does not mean that the response time is gonna be quicker. That's bottom line. How quick are they gonna get out of the station? How quick are we gonna get out of the station? Orleans, I have nothing but respect. They have a fantastic program. They have great leadership. They have fantastic personnel that are well-trained. They are 110% capable of giving Coventry the coverage that they need. But I'm saying that just because it's showing physically that it may be a mile or two closer, doesn't mean that the response time is gonna be any better.
So there has to be a decision at some point on where you make a boundary,
Understood,
right? You have to make that decision.
which was done a few
And-
years ago, but,
And so we were dealing with the ambulance at the same time.
right,
So there has to be a decision on what we discussed examples. He has a personal issue. I have a personal issue on where our family members' needs were not met by the ambulance service. That doesn't matter.
right,
It's an example. Thinking through all of the moving parts, we've decided as a group that we are going to say, for the time being, we're gonna try this. We're gonna create a boundary in our line, in our town,
right.
that's based on mileage, because that's common sense. That we're gonna just do that to see if that works, to see if it works well, to see if it serves us. We're the ones who have to be served, not the fire departments and the ambulance services, right? We're the ones buying the contracts. So that's where we're at. And that's what our decision was. As far as this contract goes tonight and how we got to it, this contract is for January 1st. I mean, it has to get going. We're well into December now.
Oh, sure, no,
And so we were, we only meet every other week.
right,
And so we were saying, look, this is the last thing we gotta do. For some reason, we're having a hard time getting Newport officials in this building or wherever we need to get them to have the discussion to get this resolved.
Right.
So after our last meeting, which we had anticipated, I certainly anticipated, Matt certainly anticipated that we were gonna have an official here to have that discussion with us, and none showed up. We're in a very sticky situation where we have to have a contract.
but would it be fair to say that you had already made the decision on the boundary lines as you stated tonight? All you were looking for was a contract
For next
based on
year.
next year,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Right, so you weren't looking for input or anything on, as far as the service itself, you were just looking for the contract,
I think we were looking for what we're doing right now.
yeah.
Just communicating,
Well,
discussing the stuff, figuring it out, doing what's best for
But
us.
it's really, Scott, it's not really a discussion. I mean, you guys have made your mind up.
Yeah.
All you're looking for is a signature on that contract reflecting what's happened the past 5 years.
Well, and if we don't get this, you don't have a contract. Starting January
again,
1st, which we don't want.
Right.
We want a contract with you.
Which is part, again, of the mayor's, that's now that she is in charge of the city, right? Because the interim manager was
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it, that now she is in charge. And if on October 9th, when this meeting was set up, this would have happened 2 months ago. So I feel where you're going, I feel what's going on here. My only concern, and it's only ever been, I've been on for 23 years, is that the town of Coventry is served in the best way possible, in the safest way possible. It doesn't matter if it's Orleans or Newport. That's my only concern. Period.
Thank you.
And if this contract is what is gonna work for you guys, let's give it a go and give it a whirl. I think that there was some stuff that went on that probably shouldn't have gone on, some conversations and stuff that, we heard some pretty cool things, and it just. As far as I know, Newport City had always served Coventry very well. We never heard complaints about what was going on, and we just heard some stuff that was, again, you hear rumors, you hear stuff. And it's just too bad. Going forward, going positively, we want the town of Coventry covered. We want to make sure that you guys are getting the best service you can. And if it takes 2 departments, 3 departments to do that, we're fine with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
So, one of the things, is it on your agenda? Later on here to talk 911 stuff, or is that?
No.
No. So can we roll that into now?
Yeah.
So, we're going to be seeking a meeting fast between Newport officials,
Right.
whoever you want,
Just love
bring
it.
them all.
All I gotta do is make sure Newport doesn't burn down. That's all my goal is.
Well, so
point.
Newport officials,
Right.
Orleans officials, and Coventry to sit and cause the 911 Matt to be.
But that's Phil, he's the 911. He'll
He'll be
set
involved.
the new boundaries.
We're
Right.
gonna do it as a group.
Right.
We want everybody, so we don't have these issues. Right? We want everybody at the table, everybody communicating, everybody discussing it. We know where the boundary is, but there's a process, right? Communication process in order to make that happen.
Well, yeah, it's gotta be, yeah.
And then everybody needs to know it, be aware of it, and just, so there's no,
Well, most importantly, I mean, Newport Dispatch needs to know where that is.
right,
So they know
absolutely,
where
yeah,
that is, yeah.
absolutely. So
Go through none of
the
that.
mechanics of it, yeah, and Phil understands and
Yeah.
others do, but I think it's, the process is important as anything. If nothing, you've just demonstrated that tonight. So the process is, we want all the people together to have the discussion of the steps that we need to take to effectuate the decisions we've made.
Mr. Chair, when are you looking to have this meeting?
That's the chair.
Oh, I'm sorry, Scott.
Well, I think we need to have it before the end of this year.
I think you have to have it in the next
Well,
week,
We're gonna have it within this week.
Right.
Yeah,
To get it into this.
for January 1, next week, within the week.
Even though you don't have a city manager? Newport doesn't have a city manager?
I
That's
think,
not my problem.
Yeah.
They got somebody that can make that decision.
Chris, I mean, I think the mayor she must be filling in that capacity, I guess.
Yeah, I would assume that
Okay.
those duties and responsibilities go to her, I would assume.
We should probably contact everybody and try to have a meeting for Monday or Tuesday.
So, Matt,
Yes.
I would recommend that you communicate with the mayor and let her know whoever she wants to send on the Newport's behalf. And do the same thing in Orleans, and you're gonna obviously be, and Phil. So you guys are gonna have to put your brains together on what day you wanna do it and just make it happen, make it work. Within the week.
Yeah, like, I mean,
I'll call them and verify, but when I talked to them last time, it's not a big.
No,
process.
that's my understanding too. I just, the formality of it, the process of it. Very
It's-
important.
The biggest part is
Is
getting everybody
dispatch.
on the same page.
Correct.
Dispatch is gonna get their information from 911 for what we submit to them. So
Yeah.
it's
I
just-
mean, I don't like- it's like, man, I'm not trying to, but I know like a Monday, Tuesday in Newport is real tough. I don't know how Wednesdays work for you guys, but
Matt's a boss.
yeah,
Tells us what
just
to
kind
do.
of throwing that out there.
Right.
I know like Monday, Tuesday is really tough for me, but. personally, and I want you,
Well, Phil works all day, so.
yeah,
Wednesdays are good for you.
like a Wednesday night evening or something.
I won't go any later than next Wednesday.
I'll shoot for next Wednesday then.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we going?
So Monday night, did the city,
Did they, Andrew, you remember they went over that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and they voted like on the
They did
contract,
vote to sign.
but there's no signatures on theirs.
we don't have that copy. We just have our own copy, so.
They did vote to sign it. I did not see it signed.
I didn't see a sign either. You,
So maybe you can follow that through too.
Yeah, I'll get their signed copy, they'll get our signed copy, everybody will.
does anyone by any chance have a copy? Do you have a map of the new proposed boundaries? You
I
have
did
it?
today, yeah. Well, from what I understand, that's where Scott's saying, get together and make sure
We're
everybody's
gonna
on the
sit
same
down,
page.
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what, I just wondered if you had, you've got something general on paper, if I could just look at it before the meeting, that's all. Yeah.
Phil, give it to you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you, Phil.
thanks for the last week.
You can take it.
It's all good. The best part is, we're all adults here. Like I said, the last thing we want is miscommunication and hard feelings.
We agree.
Because, like I said, I feel at Newport, as long as I've been on, we've served very well, and I thought we did a good job. I have nothing but.
Yeah.
The best for Orleans is, I have a lot of respect for Orleans, and they will do fantastic here, and we've always worked with them very well. So, yeah. Hopefully, see how it goes forward.
Cool. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks.
All right, you guys gonna motion those separately, together, how do you wanna do it?
So, did you read this?
Yes.
Same? No changes?
Nope,
Not at all.
not that I can see.
This is something.
Deb, because we don't have their signed copy, should we still hold that bill or should we?
You
Pay it with
probably
anticipation.
until you end up getting the signed copy back.
We can approve it, just hold the check until you can prove it, have the check waiting to mail
Well,
when
I'm
we get.
sure they're probably gonna get you the signed copy.
I mean, obviously, we're
Yeah.
gonna make this happen, so
Right.
you wanna, when we get to that spot, you want us to just approve it tonight and then just hold it. You guys hold it. All right. Okay, so I would motion that the town of Coventry enter into the agreement with Newport City Fire Department as written in this contract for calendar year 2024.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You're the only sign. Now, what else did you need?
These?
Oh. And you went through this one too,
Sure did.
same.
Today's what, 6?
Now, we don't have their bill. And that's a once a year bill too. We just pay Orleans
I
once.
think so. Yeah, sounds good.
Always just a one.
Did you wanna take a copy? Are you gonna see the mayor tomorrow and then we could get their copy, or you just gonna deal with this, Matt? You'll deal with this,
I'll deal with it.
alright.
Make a motion, the town of Coventry enter into a contract with the Orleans Fire Department for starting January 1, 2024 for the calendar year 2024.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Very good, thanks, guys.
May I have a copy of the contract?
Well, we can make you a copy at the end of the meeting, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Orleans,
yeah.
Orleans is part of the village,
Yeah.
or is it,
Say again?
is Orleans ambulance the village, or are they their own?
No, I believe they have a board, they're just like Newport's.
So we'll have to get those full ambulance.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. But EJ might,
That's why I was asking.
I don't know either. We'll have to ask EJ. He'd probably do it for both. And you're gonna take care of the 911 meeting, you guys.
We're gonna try to schedule it for next Wednesday, which is the 13th. December 13th.
Or one of you guys gonna be? I'll go this.
Okay, town report dedication.
I'm not gonna make it.
In case you haven't heard me yelling at you, I'm working on the town report, and the sooner you let me know who we're dedicating the town report to, the easier it is to get some pictures and a little write-up about them. So you don't have to decide tonight, but just something to think about, that the sooner I know, the better, so we can, find if I can get the person, get some pictures.
So I know that's become a tradition, or is a tradition. Do we do it every year? Is there years that
We did it last year, so
We didn't?
we did do it last
Oh, we
year, and
did.
that was the first book that I put together, so.
Give us some thought.
Give us some thoughts, send me an email.
Okay.
And we can finalize it the next meeting, something like that. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, next up, we have paving projects, summer 2024. So you guys had to get budgetary quotes from a couple people. We got them from Pikes and Hutchins. You then told me to go back out and get individual bids for 3 different pieces. Lane Road was one, Glen Road and Cleveland Farm Road was one, and then the top coat on the airport road was one. Pike came back with those 3 quotes. Hutchins would like you guys to consider making it a matter of public record that we're looking for paving bids before they give us a number.
Hutchins, what you said?
Hutchins would like us to put something in the newspaper. Make it public, we're using town money to do this paving, so we're under no obligation to do that, but if we want a number from Hutchins, then
That's what we're gonna do.
that's what we're gonna do.
For individual roads, but they already gave us one number.
They gave us a big number, yes.
By their big number, we're capable of breaking it down without an individual number? We
Yeah,
can tell,
We
right?
can, yeah, you probably could.
Tell me those roads again, Airport, Cleveland.
Airport top coat, so Cleveland Road and Glen Road was one bid, so that's 2 roads, and then Lane Road.
Doing all of them.
Yeah, just the copy.
Well, just, yeah.
So that brings it up. So airport, road, did you do all the way to Newport, or did they pay that part?
No, we just paid our part in airport, but.
So. I just mean to make sure we look into those, there's a few spots down there that consistently wash out, so.
Yes,
Make
well,
sure that gets built up the right way.
we did replace all the culverts.
Yeah, and I think that's probably gonna make a difference, but.
You're right, it gets bad there.
Glen Road you're talking?
Yep.
Um,
River Road's not, that's right.
no.
Was there some talk about different classes, the road classes, you could get help from the state or?
Yes, class 2 road grades. We just used one this summer, so it goes about a 5-year cycle, so we'll be eligible for another one in about 2028. Possibly sooner, but it may not be till 2028. They distribute them to different towns throughout the state. So we got ours this year to do all the Brook Road. We're out of the loop.
And the only other class 2 road the town has is River Road, though, is that correct?
Yes,
That's not paved in.
yeah, you're right, because that section of Airport Road we did this summer, that's class 3. The only class 2 section of airport is the one that goes towards the airport. The one that goes towards Irisburg is class 3.
It would go, we could use that grant money for top coat also, any type of paving, or is it?
Right, because we top coated all the road this
Right.
summer. That was a paving grant. Yeah, we can use it for top coat.
So I'm sensing some feelings.
So there's always feelings when there's money involved.
Yes. So, I can almost liken this to the issue we just talked about, right? We've got two companies. One of them in our town, the other one in our bordering town,
Right, they're both right.
both good quality
Yep.
work.
Yep.
We're looking to spend millions of dollars over the coming years.
Right, because you're not just talking about this summer, it's not like we're gonna stop.
So-
We're gonna pave this whole.
Shouldn't we not have that discussion in a meaningful way with both of those entities potentially at the same time?
I think
To
that's a
say,
very good
look,
idea.
guys, we've got a lot of work going on. We wanna help everybody. We wanna get a great service for a great price. So let's all work this out together. Are they in some, are they able to do that? Are they amenable
I
to doing
believe-
that?
I believe the two guys that are in charge of those things know each other, and as far as I know, they get along fine. I don't anticipate it being.
I mean, we don't wanna
But I don't
a
wanna say for
knockdown,
sure, but.
drag out,
You
fist
know,
fight
right,
anymore.
They might come in and start brawling with each other, but as far as I know, they get along fine.
It just seems like, huh? Am I wrong on that?
We need two bids.
Yeah.
Cause if we sided only with one company, we would eventually be paying more money.
Right.
So we need two people to keep each other honest and, one thing about paving though, it's hard to compare apples to apples too. The different mixes, are you using a regenerated mix? Is it gonna be new?
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that goes into it. So even though it's,
They'll dazzle you.
even though the price may be more or less from one, it's not the same. It's just, it's
So
different.
if we
It's tough.
invite them here
And we-
outside of a meeting, an official meeting
Meeting.
and discuss that, would that go anywhere?
Well, I think for the last, I don't think Hutchins, since I've been on the board 5 years, Hutchins hasn't paid one thing for the town. I don't, or maybe they did.
We had a bill from Hutchins that was pretty recent, I think.
Maple Ridge lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago,
And
maybe.
did they do the base coat on common communication?
Yeah.
No,
I don't
No,
know.
that was pipe, because
I
that
don't-
was where the, I had to come back and fix cracks.
That wasn't the top coat though?
Oh, maybe the top.
I think
They
Hutchins
did do the base.
I think Hutchins did base, but I could remember.
I think so, yeah, maybe
I
that's
could remember
right.
driving manure spreaders around them.
That's why.
Dampen it down.
I think it's a good idea to see if they'll both come, because we do need to continue to get two bids. Even if we have to post it in the paper, we don't have to take the lowest bid either, though,
Right.
Right,
So-
this is not grant money, this is town money you're spending, so.
So can you try that?
I can try
Call them
that.
up
Yeah.
and
I will do that,
say, we want everybody happy.
Yep.
Especially us.
Okay.
And see if we can get everybody to sit down and
yeah. Rather
hear.
than later.
Yeah, let's quote the same, the same product on the same roads and get a price.
Yeah,
Just make it simple for us to say, all right, they're cheaper.
Yeah, same product, that would make it easy. Yeah.
right.
And one of you guys will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, very good. Next up, we have town and road budget fiscal year 2025. Here's another, when would you guys like to sit down and talk about the budget and nothing but the budget?
What we asked, or you asked, and
Yeah.
we're not able to just have it has to be
I asked,
during a
yeah,
warranted meeting.
It has to be a warrant meeting, so it'd have to be, I'd have to warn a meeting, and we just, I mean, it has to be something where we go through line by line, and that's it, I won't let you talk about anything else but budget. It'll be a fun night.
Hmm.
Next week's tough for me. Beginning of the week, I'm open, maybe Monday, Tuesday-ish, but
Okay.
my daughter's getting married, so I'm
Yeah.
out of. But
Well,
after
okay,
that,
but
and then I'm
even if,
good.
even if two of you were here, it would still be productive.
So you wanna try to do it all in one shot?
I would like to, yes.
Then this is what I would recommend.
Okay.
I would recommend you
Mhm.
and the treasurer.
Yep.
Do it first, draft for one.
Yep.
Go through it with a highlighter, or however you can draw our attention to something
Yep.
and say, you know,
Actually, we've done some of that.
8 lines in a row up here.
Yep.
Normal, right?
Okay.
This is what we've spent, this is our tradition, this is anticipatory expense for next year. And then there's gonna be some weird ones, right? We've hired employees.
Right.
That's gonna be a big
Yep.
discussion topic.
Yep.
Whatever those might be, hit them with a red or whatever.
Okay.
And say, here's the 10 that we feel really deserves a lot of discussion. The other stuff, the electricity, the fuel, the,
Yeah.
you know, whatever, we all think is,
Okay.
you know, here's the number. And then so we don't have to,
That's good. I like that because it's a lot easier to track data down all three.
so if you guys could get that done.
Yep.
And then tell us you're ready,
Yep.
schedule it.
Then
And
we'll
probably
only
you
have to
should
do
do
it
that at a
twice.
special meeting, right? You don't wanna do it on a Monday.
Right, no. I don't think we wanna do it on a Monday.
No, no, I mean, well.
Just do a
tonight
budget.
Could have been a good meeting because regardless.
You could just do it on a budget meeting and we could be
Well,
a couple
maybe-
hours.
Right.
and-
Well, our next meeting,
Cause you've done the work.
maybe we can do it at our next meeting, because our next meeting's closer than we think now. It's
The 18th,
Yeah.
Well, whatever, whenever you
Okay,
wanna do it. I don't care
Right,
when you do it.
But yes, okay, so go through,
But
David and highlight.
You guys
highlight
should
the things that
be
you
giving
think-
us thoughts, opinions, recommendations, knowledge
Okay.
on what you think that you see day to day and how you think we should be moving, and then let us chew on that.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Very good. Anything for other business tonight?
I had something.
Sure. Go ahead, Phil.
The FEMA stuff for the damages was,
Oh,
was the, other damages other than Coventry Station Road added?
no, nothing's on there except for Coventry Station right now. But you mean
So,
for the,
for River Road, for Glen Road?
yeah, no,
for-
the only thing that I've talked to the FEMA people about is, yeah, just that.
Probably crunch time, but like I said previously, it'd be highly recommended from my position to add all of that to the project.
So,
The
and
downfall is the deadline for identifying damage with them is the 10th.
so do I have to get like an engineer to go look at it or something?
No, I think it's a matter of just talking to
Just
them and
saying,
saying, hey, I've got other
Yeah.
damages, like I mentioned before. What do we need to do to get them put in this?
What do you write? Is that something you want me to do?
Give me an example.
So Glen Road had multiple washouts, River Road, especially Webster Road down at the bottom, they put stuff in, so. It covers any material that we put in, it covers the man hours, the truck time. To us, the way we look at it, it may not seem like anything, but any of that time and materials, even if it came out of their own pit, they put a cost to that material.
What'd you say, River Road and what road?
There's River Road, Glen Road, you have to check with Nate about all of
Okay,
it.
River Road, Glen
Um,
Road.
But all of that stuff we're able to submit
High
and
acres.
get,
High
high acres, yep. Get reimbursed for that.
What's the deadline?
The 10th
Of-
December.
Hmm.
But I imagine if you sat down with
I
Nate
think
for
if you
2
just-
hours tomorrow, you could come up with.
I could, except I'm not gonna be here, bro.
What I would at least do is get a hold of the contact at FEMA, with FEMA you've been working with,
Yeah.
and give them that heads up. I mentioned that a few weeks ago, I think.
Tell them you had to evacuate the building.
Yeah,
I did, we talked about that.
So I think Bill's right.
Okay,
So
Yeah,
is
it's
that
probably
all you
10
gotta do? You just gotta,
I believe
And
that.
add it.
We just gotta tell them, hey,
Yeah.
we wanna identify some more damage.
Probably a $10,000 number, I'm sure.
More,
more.
the 2019 we had, I don't know.
More. They put a lot of just in the bottom of his road,
River Road.
Webster,
Where's the
that
road
was
is going on in
gone.
there?
They put a lot of material there.
But having that in there,
I'll call them up right now.
having that in there gives us the history, like, especially with High Acres, the way that bank is going and Webster Road, it gives us the ability to file later on that road.
No, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, good idea, Phil. Any other business?
Yes.
What?
I know sometimes I get grumpy. But it's my nice night. I'd like to say thank you, Phil, for all the work that you've just done with the propane. That's a lot of stuff going on there, a lot of people, a lot of thinking, a lot of communicating, and you did a great job. Kate had asked to get thrown into that loop and you did.
Yeah.
So
That's okay.
no, it's just, we build it a little bit, maybe, I don't know where we got to, or if we got anywhere with Nathan, potentially. Would be a good one to throw on there, but the style in which you performed that, the obvious, knowledge base that you have, exceptional. So sharing that with us, communicating, keeping everybody on the same page, because all of our phones are ringing all the time, and if you don't know the answer and the answer is there to be known, it's a struggle. So that you did a good job, and so I appreciate it. We all.
Great job. Yeah, and thank you. Okay, approval of minutes.
Sneak anything in on us?
Nope.
Looks like a pretty short version of a novel.
There's still some big shelf, but
Oh, that's the biggest folder ever.
I would make a motion to accept the minutes of the select board meeting Monday, November 2023 as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Warrants?
Yeah. The monsters in there.
So
In here?
Yeah,
Oh, no, what?
the school.
Oh,
that was cool, that was last
It's
time.
already been done.
What was that?
I already took that money.
Oh,
Yeah, that's gonna be gone.
you already
Oh.
swept that one out of there, though.
That was the sneak.
It's already in the school account.
And then we could stick this thing in with it. Yeah, I think you need to reward it. Yeah, just you wanna make whatever changes you want and get it back to me, like, basically.
You had to say,
Oh, quick. I saved you $7,500. How do the guys like the new truck?
They like it.
I haven't seen it,
It
but
looks nice.
Whoa, so C-card, that was for
We'll get that reimbursed.
Plain road.
all of it?
Well. 90% of it.
Grant.
That's a grant. 80%, but yeah, 80%, sorry, it's still money. That's all I need is that signed warrant. That's the last piece. Once I send that in, we'll cut us a check.
So we need to build that list too, right?
Grant that we think we're gonna get for this year.
all the outs for in future, not even this year,
Right.
but for all time.
That's
All, any money that we have out,
Yeah,
that we've expended, that we anticipate, have knowledge of, or have promise of returning to us, that should be documented very specifically in one place, in a month, and on our monthly,
Even the money from here,
anything.
and that's a long, like, we're never gonna get that. That's,
It should,
I don't know what's much.
Okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we gotta add that in to our monthly report.
the treasurer's report.
The treasurer's report, finance report, however we wanna build this, it's just something that should keep coming in front of us all the time, so we have that knowledge.
Okay.
We don't lose track
potential
of it,
money to go in the budget. Right.
right?
What is the Vermont Office of Child Support? Is that what that is?
One of the
That's
employees
for one of our employees.
who has that
This
department.
one,
Oh,
this
okay, I
one's
see.
worse than the other one.
Yes.
But there's only one more, right?
We gotta get back to that, don't we?
I mean, just, yeah,
Well, it might be one, it might be two,
but,
there's an amount.
right, yeah, but if they keep losing,
Losing, they should be losing right now.
right, no, but if they do.
Is it one of the gymnastics people?
Looks like one of our keys. Yeah, that's definitely one of our keys.
How's our cleaning working out? Deborah,
Deborah.
how's our cleaning services?
Cleaning, how is your cleaning?
Thank you, Phil.
Is it clean? Is it not clean? Is it, that's what he's asking.
Carpets are still very healthy.
Carpets.
Like stuff you just can't vacuum out, they need to be clean.
Did they do that once already or no, when they first turned?
I don't know.
Do you know, did they shampoo the rug?
She did shampoo them once, yes.
Make a motion to accept and approve the warrants as provided.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
Motion to adjourn.
very good.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.